Hey, good morning, my friends. I'm Live Chief Meteorologist Mark Torregrossa here with the MLive Morning Weather Update. We have a little storm system in the far southeast part of the state. As that moves off, then it pulls colder air down in, and we actually have a snowfall map to show you for the UP. Not a lot, but, and you know what? Almost just exactly right on time. About Halloween is when this typically happens. So that's not out of the ordinary. In fact, a lot of times Halloween, the first flakes of snow happen down into lower Michigan, even down to Saginaw and Mount Pleasant. Not this year, though. So let's get on into it and show you what's going on. And the warm 50s and maybe even 60, really not done yet either. I'll show that to you out into the extended. So here's the big picture. You could see the Hurricane Melissa, far lower right. Our storm system just off to the east, and the rain coming back into Detroit. I'll show that to you in just a moment. And pretty quiet off to the west. So here's that radar, and you see the rain just backing into parts in through the Detroit area and Monroe to Toledo. Ann Arbor reporting dry conditions, but you're very close. So I would not be surprised if you had a quick little shower today, but it's not in the modeling. Modeling keeps Ann Arbor dry. So here is that modeling. Okay, let's see here. All right, so we progress along to 11, noon, 1 o'clock. So still in Detroit, you're going to stay wet, and then down toward Monroe and into the Toledo area. And if you're driving southeast into Ohio, you're going to have showers this morning into afternoon. This is 2 and 3 and 4. So maybe the light showers creep up into Port Huron and into Sanilac County. 6 o'clock this evening. Hanging in there with showers. Excuse me, sneeze coming on. 8 o'clock tonight, and then it's off. So it's really two different weather patterns. Detroit, you're quite damp today. And the far eastern part, southeastern part of the thumb is elsewhere, dry conditions. Then we turn to a northwesterly wind, and you'll kind of notice that the areas of showers become more speckled. That's the lake effect developing. And it's not going to be a real robust lake effect, but it's cold enough aloft that some of that will be in the form of snow in the higher elevations of the UP. So this is tomorrow. Tomorrow morning, the Traverse City area, Grand Traverse County, starts to get showery, and that maybe breaks off and moves inland as it dies off. This is tomorrow afternoon and evening. Something like that says that you can have 5-10-minute showers. And then as night comes on, there you see the green change to blue across the UP, Marquette, inland area. Still near the shore, you know, Lake Superior is still quote-unquote relatively warm. But if you want to see some snow, this is Saturday midday. Head northward, and maybe even a wet flake of snow not out of the question in the higher elevations of northern lower Michigan. This model trying to show it west of Alpena. I thought this was fun. This is the total snowfall. Now, this doesn't mean it's all going to stick, but total snowfall forecast off of the same model says that that blue could be a couple of inches of snow. I would imagine that half of that would melt, but we may see some pictures from some part of the UP where the ground is, you know, dusted over. You could see some whiteness on the ground. All right, bigger picture, longer term, pretty quiet weekend aside from the lake effect. So this is tomorrow. In east side of the state, I'd call it dry. West side of the state, I'd call it a few showers. Now, Saturday afternoon and evening, you see a lot of green around there. I think it's just, scattered brief light showers. Sunday should be dry. And then Sunday night, a little patch of rain passes through on what I would call a cold front, a kind of a glancing blow type cold front. Hey, good morning, Carmelita Tiffany. Good morning, Larry Pusker. Good morning, Carter Cortiliu. I'm sorry. I always have a hard time with your name. Kimberly Zeismer, good morning. Jen from Celine. And Catherine Cyphers, good morning. Grass Lake. Okay, so Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday of next week might be dry. The next storm system late sometime next week. And you're starting to notice that as I show you these storm systems, up in Canada, there's more blue, which means that, yes, winter is progressing as it always does. Now we're out to November 9th and 10th. And some storm systems coming through. This is 12th and 13th. We are, for quite honestly, starting to get into, the up and down. We're starting to get into the zone where it's fallish to our south, it's winterish to our north, and we go up and down. Not an extremely cold forecast, but we do have some cold mornings in here, obviously. So today we'll make it to the low 50s. Tomorrow, low 50s, south half, upper 40s, Traverse City, and the north half, lower in the UP. Saturday, high temperatures in the low 40s across the UP, low 40s, northern lower, 50-ish, southern lower. Sunday, temperatures in the upper 40s for highs. Monday, mid 50s. Tuesday, upper 50s. Wednesday, maybe approaching 60 degrees. And then, like I said, when you get behind a storm system, you drop down in the 40s and 50s. And then ahead of a storm system, you head back to the 50s to maybe near 60. That's November 8th right there. And, toward the end of this, we get some signs of colder weather. That's November 13th. It's going to be still up and down there, it looks like. So really, not a whole lot going on. It's wet in the Detroit area today. The rest of us are dry and pretty nice. Sunshine out in a lot of places. And not a whole lot of weather to contend with. Definitely start finding the coats because you need them in the morning hours for certain. And you need still a pretty sturdy jacket in the afternoon. So definitely a cooler forecast, but not cold. Thanks for joining me on the MLive Morning Weather Update. I'm MLive Chief Meteorologist Mark Torregrossa. Have yourselves a great Thursday. Bye.